expressed here are not supported by and do not reflect those of the Evening Rush Network. Viewers' discretion is advised.
Yo. Welcome back. Season 3 of the Evening Rush, each and every Wednesday, 5 p.m. 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Dawn and Rainbow. We're back. What's good, Rainbow? How are you?
I'm good. I was just singing the Welcome Back Carter theme song.
Yo, I missed you.
You missed me?
Like,
but I saw you. You just missed this on here because I saw you.
Yeah, we saw each other. We had a great time since we've been going.
Yeah.
But once again, I missed you. You know, I missed this 1-2 over here. You know, having my co-host with the most.
I
saw you doing your thing. You know, over on your show. You know what I'm saying? But it was cool. What's good, Facebook user? Longest 2 minutes ever. You already know what's going on, man. So how has your vacation went? We'll say it like that.
I don't know. I only had a vacation on Wednesdays. It wasn't like I didn't do a podcast. I still had a podcast to do.
Yeah, but shout out to the Queens of NYC.
You know, it's Envy. What up,
Envy?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I did miss you. I didn't miss Wednesdays. But, you know, I like to rest sometimes. You know, I work on Wednesdays, so.
Yeah, I know. Poor baby.
Poor baby.
I enjoyed the hell of my life.
How was your vacation?
First of all, I'm back now. I want to start off with my favorite thing, of course. Shout out to Atlanta. Shout out to California. Shout out to North Carolina. Shout out to Hawaii for the check-ins. Shout out to the whole New England. Yo, when I looked the other day at the annex and I was seeing New England and I was like, yo, they love us out there. We need to go visit. We need to make that a trip. What's going on, Vet? See you on the check-in.
Hey, Vet. Yeah, I'm with that.
Once again, we are now back. Shout out to, we now have the Evening Rush Radio, so make sure y'all tune in. Y'all hear the newest sounds. You'll hear all our artists, everything. Shout out to iHeartRadio, Pandora. Mm-hmm. You already know we're still up there. Make sure y'all go to the eveningrushnetwork.com because soon that'll be the only place you'll be able to see us. So that's in the works. So, you know, we moving now. We shaking and baking on our own. Network is fully syndicated. Also, you can soon see us on the Amazon Fire Stick. It's coming. So, damn, we've been doing.
Y'all ready for that? Are y'all ready for that?
Like this is what I was doing on vacation. This is what I was
working.
Doing on
you
vacation.
Wasn't on vacation, huh?
I was on vacation. Yo, let me tell you something. I was on vacation, working, making sure this network is going to be what it's supposed to be. Number one. You know what I mean? So shout out once again to the Evening Rush Network.
Number one.
You know what I'm saying? So, we got a special guest in the building today. I want to say, first of all, this man's been doing this thing for 14 years. I'm not making no mistakes this time.
That's right. No mistakes made.
We're introducing Brian Pace into the building.
Oh, I'm feeling his hat.
What's going on, Mr. Pace? How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Welcome to the Evening Rush.
Thank you.
You know, we about to turn up with you in a second, but I want to get into a couple of things real quick. You know, we start off with trending topics over here, and we got some stuff to talk about. and unfortunately, we're going to talk about my favorite borough, Brooklyn, all day. Shout out to Brooklyn. First and foremost, Juve, Eastern Parkway, West Indian Day Parade, Labor Day weekend. It went down with no craziness. Nobody got shot. Nobody got killed. I loved it. I see everybody came out in peace, and I you know what I said? I figured this was gonna happen due to the fact that they had the 2 years. We haven't had a Juve or Labor Day parade since 2020. 2 years they couldn't do it, so they came out and they did what they were supposed to do: act right, have a great time, and enjoy themselves. And I feel it was amazing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm happy.
My godson and his band was up there. They walked the parkway. They performed. I don't know what they performed, but they're drum line.
Nice. You know what I'm saying? And they got to enjoy it safely.
Oh no, he brought his behind home early. Like, after y'all finish, bring your behind home. He's only 16.
But I heard the cops had them going through checkpoint. So it was, wasn't bad. You know what I'm saying? Spice pulled up to the parkway. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Brooklyn did
Spice is on the parkway?
Yeah.
And she was on a float, I'm pretty sure. She was on the Jamaica float.
So yes, once again, shout out to the whole Brooklyn. I'm proud of y'all. You know what I mean? As always, y'all
I don't know why you think it was just Brooklyn out there. There's other West Indians in other boroughs.
We know this, but they own Flatbush. Let's get it right. Let's keep it simple. They own Flatbush. West Indians own Flatbush. Flatbush should be called West Indian. Period.
It should be called West Indian what?
Boulevard.
Period. Yeah, there you go. West Indian Boulevard. Period.
What do they call, like, when it's little areas like Little China? Should call little West Indies. Like in out here in Queens Village should be called Little Guyana.
See what I'm saying?
Brooklyn technically has the largest West Indian Caribbean population in the United.
But they're all mixed. See,
yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's very, very true. Just like
in Queens Village, it's pretty much just all Guyanese.
Yeah.
And then what is that area? Richmond Hills, all Guyanese. Like, you can call that Little Guyana. But Flatbush, you're right. There's the West Indies because they're just all mixed and matched up there. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It is. In all actuality, Queens is the most diverse in its culture.
Yeah, it does. You're right. I used to live in Jamaica, Queens for 2 years, and that is really little Jamaica. It really is. I had to get saucy with some of them sisters out there, but it's out of love.
Jamaican women, especially if you asking them for oxtail gravy, forget about it.
I don't know why they got
about oxtail.
Saucy. It ain't gotta be that way.
Please don't talk about oxtail. I'm dying for some oxtails right now.
I want some oxtails so bad, but I don't, like I keep telling you, I don't want to spend $20 for 4 oxtails. I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Well, the good part about this weekend? Yeah.
20
yeah.
Still?
Yeah, $20. A small plate of oxtails is like $20, and before, when oxtails, they were expensive, but they were not nowhere near as expensive as they are, and they was already limited in how much they was giving you. They was already giving you like 5 or 6. Now they probably give you 4 and like 3. A little bit of drop of gravy, and they
pile it up full of rice.
Yep, and vegetables.
Yeah. But like I said, shout out to everybody that, did their thing in Brooklyn. But now I got to get on them. You know what I'm saying? The pastor, he got robbed in his own church.
Wait, first of all, the story that you sent me is we already knew he got robbed. He is suing.
I wanted to fill him in. He got robbed. But
he got robbed on live TV.
Not live TV. They recorded.
No, it was a live broadcast.
It was screencast.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Well, now he's suing the doubters that claimed that he was scamming. He's actually, what up, bro? I see you, cuz, on the check-in. He's actually suing the doubters who thought he was scamming. There's different ones. So I guess he's suing a bunch of people.
Let me tell you something. We live in America. we live in America, right? And it's not like they were. It's not like the whole Cardi B thing where the girl said whatever she said about Cardi B, and now she got to pay Cardi B $2 million or whatever she got to pay her. Whatever. This is someone's opinion.
Yeah.
This is just an opinion. It's like I'm gonna cuss. It's like an asshole. Everyone has one. So,
but you know the difference is, and this is what I feel is the difference with this situation. And I agree with you, but what it is that we're in this world now where suing is the new thing. It's the norm.
It's a business.
He got to make up for the million he just lost in his jewelry.
Right.
Yo, so wait, Tom.
You know,
can hand up. If you had $1 million in jewelry, was it not insured? You didn't insure that jewelry.
But my biggest thing is that this guy is a showboat. This guy knows whether it's the parade, whether it's to city council stuff. This guy brings a lot of attention to himself, and I understand. You trying to be the West Indian version of Al Sharpton or Calvin Butts, but there's a right and a wrong way to bring attention to yourself, and when you wearing $1 million jewelry, that ain't and then you in the heart of Canarsie too.
I would say his church is in the middle of the hood.
Listen, Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder, and Helen Keller can see that you just the block is hot. Just the bracelet is the block is hot. Come on now. I mean, come on, man. We got to do better as a people too.
Like his excuse was, it's not his fault. God blessed him, and this is what his congregation felt was his blessings for him to be rewarded with the things he has.
Oh, okay. That doesn't mean you have to wear them to church, though.
And then on top of that, Don, here's another thing that I have an issue with too. You mean to tell me you renting the space to do your church? This isn't a church. He's renting the space for his church services. This is like a hall that now I'm scratching my head. Now, you mean to tell me you got $1 million worth of jewelry and you don't even have a church? I mean, you
don't even own a building.
That's a tax write-off. Just so you know.
I mean, I could go to a greatest.
I mean, his rent is even a tax write-off, but you as a pastor, you should have a building for you should have a church for your congregation.
Right. And see what happened was, and if I'm a betting man, all the hoodnificent cats was peeping this dude out every week, and there was one dude wearing all this jewelry. Why is this dude because even his suits, I mean, you wearing $3,000 suits in the heart of Canarsie.
Yeah.
Come on now, you ain't Calvin Butts, brother. You ain't Calvin.
Not even just that, but after right at I want to say a day or two after he was robbed, he was then spotted with more jewelry riding around in a drop top.
Yeah. And then what I had even really the red light was the guys that robbed him got away. Their getaway car was a Mercedes Benz. A lot of this.
Was it a new Mercedes or was it an old Mercedes?
It was a newer style Mercedes.
That was his friend.
That was about a.
Oh, you're gonna have him suing us?
Yeah.
No, not us. It'll just be me, and he won't. Let me tell you something. He won't get nothing because I ain't got nothing to give him.
So listen, man, and by the way, we do hold a disclaimer at the beginning of our show, so it's okay.
It's at the beginning of the show. It says the views here do not support the evening rush. Right. I feel, like I said, everybody is an opinion. It's my opinion. And it just seems a little fishy to me. I'm just saying.
I mean, the whole situation feels fishy. It definitely feels fishy. My whole thing with him right now is, listen, suing people that doubted you.
Right, like Envy said, and the thing is, if it's not, like Envy said, if it's not defamation of character, he's gonna lose. Like no one's saying him as a pastor is trash. Like that's not what they're saying. They're saying what happened to you is you're lying about it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's not defamation of character. Now, the lady who had to pay Cardi B however much she had to is because it was defamation of character.
Definitely.
That's just my opinion. I think it was a scam.
Well, I mean, like I said, once again, these are the things that go down and be trending, and we just had to discuss it.
Look, in Brooklyn.
This time was in Brooklyn.
Canarsie,
you know,
in the heart of Canarsie too. I'm like,
yeah,
there's certain things you just don't. You know, even Luke Cage walking through Canarsie, that's kind of suspect. What you doing here, brother? You know that. You know, Canarsie ain't one of them. You know, and again, we were talking about this before the show started. The code. Come on now, we got to get back on code. You don't rob no old lady. You don't rob no church. You know, I mean, that's you just don't do. I mean, but you know, I will give it this. You know, he made the international news. I mean, NBC, ABC, they showed that video, man. I mean, he got some notoriety from this. He's getting
multiple times. Real quick, let's if anybody want to call in, we have a new number. The number is 929-282-0266. Call in. Give us your opinion.
Now I got another number I gotta remember. Jesus Christ.
Good night. What's going on?
Hi.
Big time shout out to my boy Benjamin, aka Bad Man Benny. He came on before us, tore it down. The reggae was phenomenal. I got to listen to it while I was doing some things in the house, and it was just like, yo, this is what I'm talking about. Now you have music. Now you have podcasting. Yo, we ain't playing no games this year.
We moving over here.
Yo, let's shout out our sponsors real quick.
I shouted at them out the last time.
I got you. Don't worry about it.
Just
shout out to the gallery each and every Tuesday on CaribbeanPowerJam.com. That's once again with my boy Benjamin DMB. Shout out to Industry 21 Mag. They actually got a new Instagram because the other Instagram got hacked. So it's now I21 Mag. So make sure you check them out. Let's load them back up. Yeah. You know, they see a brother getting on top. They gotta try to pull him back down. So it is what it is. He you know, Dame, he does his thing. He out there always. Shout out to Plush Vodka, one of the best gluten vodkas I've ever seen.
Gluten free
vodka.
There you go.
Thank you.
There you go.
A cause of concern, a solution network. Shout out to our girl CW. She has a couple of things going on. Make sure you check them out. September 17th. She's in Springfield Gardens. She has another kid event. So make sure y'all involve yourself out to it. Make sure y'all pull up over there. Shout out to Hot Commodity Cosmetics. Shout out to my girl and sis Chrissy. I hope you feel better. Definitely down, and you know she's down right now, but you know Chrissy,
that's because she was just out and about. That's why she's down and out, because she was just having too much fun.
But I hope she feels better. Definitely.
Me too.
Envious Creations. You already know you get your gear, you can get treats, everything. And yo, we was just with Envy last Sunday. The brownies was
I should have stole some more snacks.
Yeah, yo, they killed it as soon as we pulled up. Shout out to Coco.
Not literally, it didn't take 5 minutes for them to kill all of the dessert.
Definitely. Really shout out to Coco in that situation though. That back to school, I loved it. Had a good time. It was good seeing old friends and everything else.
Yes,
and of course,
absolutely.
Martine Felton. Go to martinefelton.com. Tarot reading, life coach, you name it, she do it. Podcaster, author. You know what I mean? I was just talking to her at the kid's birthday party this year, and we just had a magnificent conversation, and she just opened my eyes to some more things. So, you know, I'm definitely in due for a reading. So I definitely got to hit up myself.
I'm gonna have to get me one too. I keep saying I'm gonna get me a reading. And I never get the reading, but I need it.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely in the need for one right now. But we're here right now with the man, Mr. Brian Pace. Mr. Pace, my number one question to everyone is, who is Brian Pace?
Brian Pace is a self-sufficient music journalist who's in the heart of Harlem, New York. A documentarian, writer, and lover of the culture. And 14 years. My background, extensive background, I was a producer and reporter for NPR, CBS. Been doing this for a very, very long time, and been blessed to have documented and interviewed and continue to document people that one laid the foundation of Black American music. Two, just the fact that at a time when Americans, especially Black Americans, we're in an era of mindless and cultureless entertainment right now. And the documentation of one's American roots, it's being manipulated as well as taken over by European culture. And unfortunately, Europeans are the biggest fans of Black American music by way of jazz, the blues, hip hop. Well, we don't even have it R&B anymore. That's pretty much non-existent.
Oh no, that's not true. I'm about to bring hip hop. I'm about to bring R&B back. I got two great R&B artists. They're on their way. But go ahead.
Okay, but you know what I'm saying. I mean,
yeah, definitely.
The 90s was really that last run of R&B before hip hop just took over into this. And unfortunately, whose fault is that?
Ja Rule.
Huh?
Ja Rule.
No. Hold on now. Now, don't forget now, the 90s, that was the era of the collabs where the R&B had to fuse the hip hop to get that cross.
No, he's saying because Ja Rule started singing in his songs. He started singing in his songs.
Sorry, you guys are New Yorkers, but me being from Indianapolis by way of Detroit, I never understood Ja Rule. I never understood DMX.
DMX.
Huh?
I love DMX.
I know you're a New Yorker. Y'all gonna hold on to that, but I
don't love all New York artists. Now that is not true. It was just something about DMX. I just loved his soul. He's just always prayed. Maybe that was it for me.
I just think that DMX's spirit was always broken, and I always thought his music was just too bleak. It's like, and then also he needed some throat lines. I was like, dude,
that's his voice. That's what did it. I'm a woman.
I'm a hip hop head. I mean, I grew up of the hip hop generation, so my lyricists were, very succinct and to the point. Redman, Rakim, KRS-One, Eminem, these guys, Master Ace, Big Daddy Kane. We even had great storytellers.
You actually put Eminem with those great artists.
Yeah,
so that he's in that range.
He just said a storyteller. Eminem is a very good storyteller.
Hold on, don't. I don't want nobody to think I'm taking anything away from him. I've grown to like Eminem. It's just that when he's the artists he's naming are artists that built hip hop.
Yeah, and guess what?
I do not feel Eminem.
He built hip hop from the way
is one of those that built hip hop.
Hold on now. You got to listen to this now. Do you know who Eminem's two big main influences are? They're lyricists. Big Daddy Kane and Master Ace. In fact, Master Ace is Eminem's all-time favorite rapper next to Big Daddy Kane. Now, I love the Juice Crew. So I had Craig G, I had Big Daddy Kane, Biz Markie, Roxanne Shante, that whole thing, that collective that Marley Marl did in the mid 80s to I guess the early 90s. Now, I say that rap once upon a time, it used to be like gumbo. I don't know if you guys are familiar with gumbo, but it's okay. So gumbo's got a little bit of beans, it's got a little rice, it's got a little bit of okra. Excuse me. And there was a time when hip hop was regional. You knew the rap cats from Miami. You knew Organized Noise and Outkast and Goody Mob and TLC from Atlanta. There was a period when you knew about the rappers in the South, UGKs, Ghetto Boys, Bushwick Bill. Then you go out west. You had the Bay Area was different than the LA rappers.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to the Bay Area, you had the Coup, you had Paris, you had E40, you had Too Short, you had Souls of Mischief. Then you go to LA, you had the West Coast version of Tribe Called Quest, a group called Farside. Then hip hop used to have different regional voices. It was straight hood. They told different stories from the hood, but you had so much authenticity in hip hop in the 80s and the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was, I listen to all music. I'm a huge fan of music. Hip hop is becoming what punk rock was in the 70s. It got too big too fast, and it ran out of things to say. And I'm noticing that the rappers now, especially today's rappers, you have some that are conscious, but I'm noticing all the female rappers are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
When we came up, MC Light was totally different than Sweet Tea. Salt and Pepper was totally different than Bahamadia. Bahamadia was totally different than someone like a Finesse Quest. We had different BWP, Bitches with Problems, Boss, Nikki D. I'm running a whole litany.
Different artist.
They were different artists, but they were bringing a very different persona of hip hop. I still to this day really, really pray. Well, they are going to get in eventually. Salt and Pepper definitely need to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because
I don't know why they're not already in it.
Well, they
could have been in there.
They're going to eventually. Because their first album came out well over 30 years ago. That's the qualification. You have to have 25 years, and then you're in. Jay-Z is in. He got in on the show bus because of Amir, Questlove. Public Enemy got in on the short list because of Amir. Amir was the reason why Janet Jackson was definitely in there. Amir is bringing a very different voice to the hall. Everybody knows that Juan Winter, the founder of Rolling Stone magazine, he's one of the founding members of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and he's off the board now. So I think Amir is trying to bring in the younger musicians from all genres. I'm talking like Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. He's bringing in our generation to kind of oversee the next generation of how they induct the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees. But going back to hip hop, the circle of the music was just so diverse. Queen Latifah was so different than Moni Love. Moni Love was totally, hip hop is not doing that anymore. In fact, what's really shocking about hip hop is this case that's going on in is it Georgia, in Atlanta, how the district attorney now is bringing all of these rappers under fire, under pressure.
Yeah.
This is and the thing is, hip hop is now self-incriminating these young cats. These young
cats are self-incriminating themselves.
Exactly. The first one that really kind of was the nail in the coffin for me was the Tekashi 6ix9ine thing. He wasn't even a gangster, but you were rolling with one of the most notorious gangsters out there, and then you put them on blast. I'm wondering how in these times he's still living. Because in the perfect it goes back what we were talking about earlier, code. There's certain things there's certain things that you talk about, and there's certain things that you say, and there's certain things that you put out there. Tekashi 69, Instagram, his music videos, he self-incriminated him and that gang. And I'm wondering in the perfect world how that cat is still living after snitching. You know, that cold, you don't say
but
jack.
it goes back to what you said, which is cold. Yes, Snitch 9 should not be living.
Yeah.
Yes, we don't really talk about him on here, but I'm cool with it. And that's because I'm against rap. See,
right.
There's a difference between
you gotta be who you gotta be like. You gotta be like Bobby.
You know,
they was like, well, we'll
between...
give you 2 years if you snitch on your friend. He was like, well, then give me whatever it is you're gonna give me, because I ain't snitching.
Right. You don't.
If you did the crime with these people, you know what I mean?
But
allegedly, we're gonna say allegedly.
But hold on, Don.
Here's the source. Here's
the bigger problem I had with this. They're the ones that helped his career.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a saying, and I practice this: you don't shit where you eat. You shitted on your buffet. Now, granted, now in a perfect world, I'm still wondering how you live it. Now, when
I agree.
Well, you have to remember they also did try to kill him. They kidnapped him and tried to kill him.
Allegedly.
But I think that
that's why all of this is happened. This is
that's his version. That's his version of what happened.
Right.
But go ahead.
That's allegedly why he said he snitched, because why would I cover up for someone who tried to kill me?
That's his version.
Right. Again, you don't shit where you eat. And in a perfect world, had this happened 20 years ago, he would have been missing. He would have been like the guy that ran the UAW, the guy that went missing, Jimmy Hoffa.
Jimmy Hoffa. Let's
be real. Let's be real. One, you know the feds is watching him.
Yeah.
Two, he pops out. He makes it known, like he goes into certain spots and he's there for maybe 15 minutes top. Then he's back in the car and gone.
Yeah.
So he's strategic about how he's moving.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there's reasons why he's not, missing or anything. But the point is, he's getting fame off of, and his fame has died down. He's no longer selling those millions and millions of hits like he used to. That's why I don't never give him that credit.
But he hasn't had a song since then.
He had one song. He had a whole album drop, and nobody really bought it.
But then too, you got to look at like Fetty Wap. I'm looking at all of these. Do you know in the last 3 years there have been more than 10 rappers that have been killed, been popped, but off stupid shit? Now I'm like, the most notorious shit we went through was the Biggie and Tupac thing, and that was an East Coast, West Coast thing. And I'd even say I want to take it back a little further than that. I thought, and we talk about white rappers, Eminem. I really think that Third Base really, really, really one of the most criminally underrated rap groups of all.
Yeah.
I think that Nice and Search were lyric, especially Search.
Yeah.
Search lyric game was insane. But you guys remember the incident where the Bloods and the Crips, there was a bounty for Third Base when they went out to LA because they made fun of was it MC Hammer. But I say this, hip hop has always had drama as far as, he said, she said, and validating and backing shit up.
Yeah.
Couldn't back his shit up. Biggie couldn't back his shit up. Lyrically they could, but as far as their muscle and them living, they couldn't back it up. And that's what we're seeing now with these younger rappers. They're talking all this shit. And actually they're not talking shit. They're putting all of their dirty laundry on Instagram and they're getting popped.
Mm.
They're getting popped.
That's what it is. It's too easy for somebody to know what you're doing, know where you at.
Your social media.
Too busy all trying to front for the gram. and you just out here just doing all this for nothing.
Yeah.
The only person it seems like in the rap game that's really about that business is the baby, because he done got 2 bodies under his belt and still ain't go to jail.
Yeah, still go to jail. And then here's the thing about talking about moving. You know, when I post my videos and post my photographs and everything on social media, it's to coincide with the piece. It's to coincide with getting people community to support the venues and the artists. It's a way for me to build. I built community through my videos because what the main thing is building community. And what these hip hop cats haven't done, or what they're not doing, is they're not building the bridge. And what I mean by that, when I was coming up, if I went to Market Square Arena, I could see 7 acts for like $15. Now, back in the late 80s, early 90s, that was good money, but I could see Poor Righteous Teachers, I could see Too Short, I could see Ice Cube, I could see maybe 4 acts, and at the end of the show, not worry about getting shot.
Back.
Now, you know, I'll tell you a very true story. This is a very crazy story.
Let me hold you up with that story. I want you to keep that because we're gonna come back. We gotta pay some bills.
We gotta pay some bills.
If you want to show on the Evening Rush Network, this is how you go about it.
Looking to podcast shows and do not know where to start? The Evening Rush Network can help you with that. Call us at 929-441-2417 or email us at theeveningrushnetwork@gmail.com for dates and prices. We got you for all your podcast needs. The Evening Rush Network. Tune in, subscribe, and share.
Now a message from our sponsors. Envious Creations for your baked good needs. Follow them on Instagram at Envious Creations with a Z or call or text 347-984-3963. Martine Felton, author of You Love, You Learn. Download her book at www.martinefelton.com. She is also a life coach and author and intuitive. Plush Vodka. Are you looking for a good premium flavored vodka? Well, order yours now at www.plushvodka.com. Are you looking for a change in your community? Well, follow Chaplain Christine Winslow and her Cause of Concern and Solution Inc. Follow them on team_Winslow on Instagram. Hot Commodity Cosmetics and Lash Studios. Order your cosmetics now at hotcommoditykosmetics.com or follow them on Instagram at hotcommodity_cosmetics. Industry 21 Magazine Apparel. Follow them on Instagram and Twitter at Industry 21 Mag or I21 Apparel on Instagram and Facebook. And those are our sponsors of The Evening Rush with Don and Rainbow. If you're looking to be a sponsor, feel free to email us at theeveningrush@gmail.com for inquiries. And don't forget to catch us here each and every Wednesday at 7 p.m. And follow us on Instagram at The Evening Rush Show.
Yep. We're back.
We're back.
You already know what it is. Season 3 of The Evening Rush each and every Wednesday.
Yep.
From 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. with Dawn and Rainbow. Tonight, we have our special guest, Mr. journalist Brian Pace. You can catch him on YouTube at The Pace's Report, which is an excellent journalism being done by Mr. Brian Pace about different artists and things that he goes through. We're here with him today. So, Mr. Pace, you was telling us?
Where were we at? You know, we went.
You said you had a story for us.
You had a story for us.
Oh yeah. This is very Market Square Arena, Indianapolis, Indiana. Naughty by Nature opens up for the Kings of Hip Hop, Run DMC. Now, you gotta understand when this concert took place, which was about 93. Vinny and Tretz really are becoming really, really big. And This particular concert, the Bloods and the Crips were in the front of the audience and throughout the audience and the crowd, and they were really, really, really about to throw down, and Vinny comes out, you know, Newark Hoodnificent. He comes out with his chains and he says, and he tells his DJ, stop, and he gets on the mic and he says, listen, guys, we didn't come all the way from New York to fucking fight. We came out here to make sure everybody has a great time. We're not gonna do this shit tonight. If we gonna do this shit tonight, we're not gonna have no concert. And he said, we're trying to keep the peace. And that's all he said. Trying to keep the peace. And those few words that Tretch said set the whole epitome for the rest of the night. And then there was no fighting. And you got to understand, and I say this, yes, hip-hop, rap music is our CNN. It really is. Chuck D coined that. Chuck D said that hip-hop is our CNN. We have stories that were prolifically told through our hip-hop. Now today's hip-hop is flipped. Now we got hip-hop artists, a whole so-called MCs. Well, they're not MCs. I call MCs different than a rapper. Look it up. These guys now are taking social media to hype stupid shit up to sell records. That was never the case. Back when ODB got on MTV with his baby mama and 3 kids and got in the limousine and went to the welfare office to get his welfare checks, that was great PR for ODB to sell his debut record on MTV. Yep. There's a right and a wrong way to sell your records. Back then, that was ingenious. Okay,
nobody thought that.
Right. I mean, and everybody who's is a hip hop head remembers that 4-minute piece on your MTV News. It's actually, to this day, it's very comical. You can look it up on YouTube. But that shows you the genius of ODB, his wit and his cynicism. You hear it in his first, well, he only made 2 records, but I say that hip hop now is the reverse.
Well, he had an amazing album.
He did. That first record,
he had an amazing album.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely put Staten Island and Brooklyn in the house on the map. But his PR genius wasn't the fact that he went to the limousine to go pick up his welfare checks. It was, we see who ODB is, how funny this guy is. Oh shit, I gotta go out and buy Into the Chamber or the 36 Chambers Act. I mean,
at the time,
hip hop artists back in the day did things that were colossal to not only bring hype. I mean, NWA said some very, very important things. Fuck the police. It wasn't we didn't hate the police. We just hated the fact, and we still see it some 30, 35 years later, the police are still black folks. The 2 incidents that happened in Ohio. It's like NWA brought a very different catalyst to Black American music by way of poetry, which is hip hop. By way of
them, Public Enemy too.
Yeah.
Well, see, again, and I have to say this too, you know, Public Enemy and KRS-One were my conscious cats, because at a time when, again, hip hop was going through evolution, Chuck D and KRS-One said, well, listen, we're gonna be part of our element, but we need to have a mix of not just crazy shit, but we need to have some empowerment. And KRS-One not only is a prolific lyricist, a freestyler at that, but when you leave a KRS-One show, you're entertained. And that's something too that a lot of this new generation ain't. they're not entertaining. People, there's a message in the music. That's what Gamble and Huff said. The message in the music. And today, I think we're being so misled through this social media thing. It's like, okay, I'm going to go and do some stupid shit in order to sell a record or make sure that my song is out. Hip hop was not like that 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
That happened.
There's a couple of artists here and there. It's not, it's a few. Just a few that still have a little conscience in their rapping. Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
Lil Baby, he's very conscious, even though some people think it's not. But if you really sit and listen to it, you're like, oh, I hear you.
And J. Cole. And
definitely Cold World.
Here's the thing that I really admire about J. Cole. And I actually peeped this out. The old J&R, back when New Yorkers know about J&R, but J&R used to have this music festival during the week, and they had concerts at J&R. And actually, back in the day when artists came back, and even before I moved here, everybody knows you either went to Tower Records or J&R, artists would sign there. You spend 15, 16 bucks. You wait 2 hours in the rain, sleet, snow, sun to get a picture. You know what I'm talking about, Don. J&R Records, right before the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yep.
Well, nowadays, man, it's like that doesn't even exist. Community doesn't really exist or with it. I remember Fat Beats Records. I remember the first time I moved here, and one of my very, very early interviews was with Lil Brother. And I interviewed them at the old Fat Beats, right before they closed. Again, there were elements where, and I have to commend Uncle Ralph, because he's still
around. Yeah,
he's still around, and he has all that archival footage of all of those shows, and that's basically what I have done. I've go into the venues and shoot these jazz musicians and these blues artists and these hip hop heads, and 20, 30 years from now, people are going to come back to me and ask me questions about this, because again, we have to take root of our culture again. And hip hop used to be like that. When you saw LL with FUBU on, we knew that Damon John was the proprietor of a clothing line that tens of millions of not just black folk, but Australians, Japanese, Chinese, Israelis wore. It was part of our culture. And that's something that is so missing now. Everybody wants to make a buck, but we got to understand the business side of what we're trying to do. And that's why magazines like this, that's another reason why I started the Pace Report, because I told my friends that when I first moved to New York that print was dead. Print is dying. But when I was saying that, there was a lot of validity to what I was saying. I'm going to ask both of y'all, and I'm going to show your age. Do you remember when you used to go to the barbershop? What were the 3 publications that you saw in black hair salons, in the barbershops, and in the beauty shops? There's 3 that you always saw.
Jet, Ebony.
I was just about to say.
And in a woman's, in the women's, we didn't have the stores or nothing like that.
And I was too.
We had hair magazines. And we point like, this is what I want.
Right, but I'm talking about the 3 core magazines was Essence, Ebony, Jet, Black Enterprise, and then in the 90s it was Vibe magazine. And
Miss Vibe.
And what happened was we got to the digital era, and this is what pained me about Ebony and Essence. They didn't keep up with the times. And I'm pretty sure right now the founder of Ebony Magazine, John Johnson, he's turning over in his grave right now. He created Ebony Magazine as a nucleus for Black America to see progress. And let me repeat what I said. Read his autobiography. This guy, he's a mogul. He owned a publishing a company. Now tell me, at a time in the 40s and 50s, when, with the exception of black newspapers like the Defender in Chicago, the Chronicle in New York, the New Amsterdam News here in New York City.
I was about to say the New Amsterdam.
Yeah. Well, it's New Amsterdam, you know. But the thing is, what I'm saying is, we had black publications that spoke to the nucleus of Black America by way of the Caribbean, by way of what was going on. And those three magazines that I just named you, Essence, Jet, and Ebony, John Johnson wanted his two publications to show progress. I remember, you know, when the Venus sisters, with Venus and Serena, we saw them being magnetized and praised for their rewards in those magazines. The same with Essence magazine with Susan Taylor. And the one important, here's the thing that really kills me too about Essence. What was the most why did black women read Essence magazine? It was because of one particular thing that Susan wrote at the beginning of the magazine. It was called In the Spirit. Susan gave words of encouragement, enlightenment, affirmation, but also criticism of black women. And what's happened with media is that we've become so bastardized in how to dissect. We're so quick now to accept what everybody has given us that we take it as law. No, it's not. And then with the advent of Vibe magazine, when I was in college, when I attended Memphis State University for 4 years, there were two magazines that I read religiously. It was XXL, which is, I'm showing my age. This is the
XXL was popping.
No, you're not. I mean, but I'm about to say, everybody that watches our show should remember this stuff too.
Yeah. Okay. Because XXL was really the source on steroids. At and then I used to read the Village Voice, and I also used to read Vibe magazine. Those publications right there, I just named you, were the nucleus of what I needed to know about the cultural side, the literary side, the music side, and also somewhat the fashion side. Because when we read those publications, we were in tune with the pull of America. When we read Vibe magazine, we look forward to Bobbito's five songs that he asked the musician or the artist or the actor what their take is on their songs. We got Faith Newman, we got Bones Malone, we had great writers, Havelock Nelson, Greg Tate, God rest his soul. We had great, prolific Caribbean, Latino, black writers that were the pull of Black America when we read Vibe. And Quincy Jones, when he leaves, everyone is going to be thanking him for Vibe, because his vision for Vibe magazine was, if Black America ain't bleeding, then we ain't leading. That's it. If Black America ain't bleeding, we ain't leading. So that means that we have to have stress. And everybody knows we read them Vibe magazines in the 90s.
Yeah, you went through the whole magazine.
Yes, I'm talking about whether it was Janet Jackson, whether it was Master P, whether it was Biggie the Tupac shit.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Read Vibe magazine because it was really an updated version of what Mr. Johnson did with Ebony and Jet magazine. But he gave young black writers, young people, a voice to document as well as represent our culture. So that's why it's very important what you're doing. You got to make sure that you keep this going. And I encourage all other writers and all videographers and bloggers, stick with the vision and in your lane. and make sure that our people are represented to the T. Because what I have not liked within the last 20 years, and I'm going to say this, and I don't give a flying fuck what anybody thinks about, but this world star,
I don't like it.
that's black exploitation. You're not only you're not exploiting us as a culture and a race, but white people and Europeans see this shit and laugh at this. And they're making a mockery of, when they see this, you're making a mockery of us when we had a black president. He didn't do much when he was in the 8 years, but we had a black president.
He tried.
We
tried.
You can't fault that man that they didn't want to let him do what he wanted to do. He's just the president, but he don't have the power.
I get it, but I'm just saying, at the same time, you got to have some balls too. You got to have some balls too, and Obama didn't have none of those.
I mean, you gotta think about it. Fighting Congress and fighting the House are one of the biggest things, especially when there was more Republicans than it was Democrats at that time.
But you gotta have a backbone. When somebody comes, I'm gonna ask you a question. If someone comes sideways at your son or daughter and they don't have permission to do that, what are you gonna do for your son and daughter, to that person that's coming sideways at them?
That's a different we live in a different time. You know, I want to say it like that.
How come Donald Trump can say whatever the hell he wanted to say? But
you're right.
And
you know what it is? It's because, what did you say? You said black people need to have class. Obama was trying to have class.
But at
Trump
the same,
ain't got none at all. No decorum.
I get it. But I'm just saying this, and we got to get back to the topic.
Because I still didn't even get to ask my one question.
Obama should have put his foot down. He should have. Biden was his backbone. The stuff that Obama didn't want to come out and blatantly say, Biden did that for him in his 8 years.
As a white man. Hello, they wasn't gonna let that black man say what he wanted to say.
Hold on now.
I'm hurting here.
The very thing that he did for Obama, he's been null and void since he's been in the office. And that's why everybody's scratching their head. It's like, wait a minute, now you went for the balls for the president, and now we asking you for some solutions, and your ass is like,
it's because it wasn't his idea. Did you see? You said he was the president's backbone. It was all Obama's thoughts.
I get it, but I will go back to we steered away from what we were talking about. But I'm just, we as a people, we have to maintain and control our dialogue. We have to control the narrative. I always say, change the narrative. I always tell people when people are like trying to get their business going or they're going, I always say, change the narrative, because white folk have told us for so long. And this is the real sad thing about the pandemic. When we saw George Floyd live in the flesh, when we saw Breonna Taylor in the flesh, when we saw the universities falling, we saw that the universities were failing and everybody's in student loan debt because they're selling us these universities and these degrees that mean jack shit. And we're in an era where now we're realizing that now you only need 2 years of junior college to succeed in this country. White folk have told you that you need to get this degree. White folks said you need to do this to succeed. No. We need to stop following their playbook and change our narrative. And that's why I have almost 750 videos online with icons. I wanted
which is one of my questions.
Yeah, I wanted them to tell you how to change the narrative. Dick Gregory cussed my ass out in that interview. Highest rated videos. Now, let me give you the back end of that video. He was in the beginning stages of dementia. There was a lot going on. There were 3 white interviewers before me, and they were asking stupid questions.
As they always do, because they don't understand us.
Right. So when I asked Mr. Gregory about the athletes and entertainers, he shut me down. But if you look at what Colin Kaepernick did when he kneeled, and I was also referring to what happened in 1967 with the Cleveland summit with Jim Brown, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Walter Beach, those black athletes in 1967 when they sat down in protest with Muhammad Ali because of his religious beliefs. There have been entertainers and there have been athletes who were prominent during their careers for civil rights. God rest his soul, Bill Russell. Russell, God rest his soul. His whole career, and actually Bill Russell was at that summit. Bill Russell's whole career was on the backs of the civil rights movement. Shit, this man had his dogs poisoned in 1966 when he was living in Roxbury in Boston, winning championships for the city of Boston. Now, how do you, Mr. Gregory, tell me that liberation through there are people, Arthur Ashe, God rest his soul. I could name you a whole list of athletes who were on the front lines for humanity in Harry Belafonte's whole career was about activism.
Yeah.
So when you watch that interview, he's in the beginning phases of dementia. And also another thing too, it was damn near 12 o'clock at night. That man been going out.
That man said it's past my bedtime. What are you doing?
Yeah,
I want to ask you about one interview before we sign off. Yours with Dionne Warwick.
Yeah.
How was that interview? Like, what made you do that interview?
I did two
the situation. The one with Bone.
She had a record come out. I believe that's the interview when she had a new record come out, and her son was really, really good friends with Bone. In fact, he got him to collaborate with Miss Warwick, and they did the big record release at the I think it was the Sirius. It was the Sirius Studios.
Yeah.
But Miss Warwick, she's a trailblazer. She's a trailblazer because you have to think about Aretha Franklin, her, Etta James, and Nina Simone in the 60s were the divas. They were the ones that brought the soul era. Now, what made Dionne so very unique from her contemporaries and really out above her contemporaries, Aretha was just a child prodigy. She just had the whole shebang. When Aretha was 3 and 4 and 5 years old, she was playing piano like she was an adult. I mean, Aretha, her talent over-succeeded her. We know about Aretha, her legacy.
Yeah.
But Dionne Warwick collaborated with two very important songwriters, Hal David and Burt Bacharach. And Burt Bacharach is 94 years old. He's still living.
Yeah.
Burt Bacharach and Hal David wrote these pop songs that shifted away from the traditional show tunes. American song, what do you call it? The American Songbook. Irving Berlin, Gershwin. In the 50s and 60s, their songbook shifted to popular top 40. A lot of the R&B and soul artists were recording their songs. The pop artists were recording Hal David and Burt Bacharach songs. And Dionne was the platform for their songbook. Aretha Franklin does renditions of Hal David and Burt Bacharach songs that Dionne Warwick recorded first. Now let's shift over to England, the 1960s. There was this thing called the British Invasion, the Beatles,
the Beatles,
the Rolling Stones, Dusty Springfield, Cilla Black. You had this British talent that was getting mad airplay on American radio and globally. Burt Bacharach and Hal David's songs were some of those songs that Dionne Warwick was recording, but the artists over in Britain were recording. So Dionne Warwick, when she's long gone, everybody's going to be talking about she was the mouthpiece for all of these songs that Hal David and Burt Bacharach wrote.
Oh, yeah.
She changed. I mean, you think about it. Look at how she dresses. Even to this day, she still carries herself with class and dignity.
And elegant. Yeah, very elegant.
She still looks great at her age.
That was why I asked, because when I was strolling through the videos, when I saw her, and you just locked in. It was amazing. So then just listening to the interview and how he went in depth with her was even more amazing. So I definitely urge people to definitely watch that episode. But checking the time, let them know how they can find you.
My website is quasi up. It'll be up back next week because I've been doing some stuff. I've moved back to Harlem. I'm on Instagram, The Pace Report, Twitter, The Pace Report, and Instagram and Facebook, The Pace Report. I have 2 pages for the Pace Report. So if you want to reach out to me there, or if you want to reach out to me, thepacereport.com. And also, if you want to email me, paceface1@me.com.
So we always ask people to leave with an inspirational thought. We call How You Want to Go Out. So how do you want to go out today?
Just control the narrative, people. Stop letting white folk and Europeans control your narrative. We're just as important as they are. That's very important. We have to stop in the education thing too. If I had a chance to do it all over again, I would have finished at a black college. And I would have finished at a black college. I'm not knocking it, but I'm just saying what white folk have instilled that we're supposed to do, what we're supposed to do. No, we need to instill our greatness. And we have to go back to studying our great elders. That's the reason why, if you listen to a lot of this music, there's no substance. They don't research and listen to the past. And that's very important that we need to do. We need to keep our foot forward and always be people and vision forward. But we also have to always reach back to the past, because guess what? Our elders ain't going to be here too much longer, guys. And we got
that through COVID.
We got to extract and respect and give them their roses while they're living.
Oh, they reach back. They reach back for samples, and that's about it.
Yeah. Right.
How you want to go out, Rainbow?
Thank y'all for tuning in. I want to thank Brian Pace for being here. Dawn, I missed you.
I missed you too.
Thank y'all for coming out. God bless. Have a good night.
All right. Take care.
And I just want to go out with, and I'm going out with letting y'all know, one, thank y'all for everybody that tuned in the comments. Thank you to Mr. Pace. We definitely appreciated the education, and I definitely want to have you back on the show again.
Absolutely.
I also want to say shout out to the industry, which comes on after us at 9 o'clock. And we now have a sports show where it comes on at 10 o'clock. So make sure you tune into that live by 3. And you already know what it is, man. It's the Evening Rush. We still here, man. We'll holler at y'all later. Going on with my boy Fresh, as always.
My nephew told me I'm a king and that crown fitted. You can catch me in 1,000